When the U.S. government forced more than 60,000 Native Americans to relocate to Oklahoma to make way for white settlers in the 1830s, their slaves came with them. After emancipation, the freed slaves, known as freedmen, settled and built their own towns,
where they would have the opportunity to live amongst people that looked like them, amongst people who understood the plights that they had escaped from, but ready to embark upon a new opportunity, form their own government in terms of their mayors and their elected officials, all of whom were like them. And it was an amazing opportunity.
The fully self-sufficient communities thrived. In the 1910s, the town of Boley was flourishing, with hotels, doctors, lawyers, schools, colleges, and restaurants.
They had their own newspaper in Boley. They had their own phone company. So it was a bevy of commercial and residential life, not to mention the thousands of farms around most of these towns.
But the Great Depression of the 1930s took a toll on the all-black towns. Many residents left to find work elsewhere. Town populations dwindled. Today, just 13 all-black towns remain in Oklahoma, including Grayson, population 140.
90% of the individuals are retirees, or individuals of some type of disability who moved back to their home site, in Grayson. And so that makes up really the population in our community.
Today, an annual rodeo draws visitors to Grayson, where Anderson remembers flexing his cowboy skills as a teenager.
We didn't have a movie theater, and we didn't have a drive-in theater to go to, like on weekends for entertainment. But we could all saddle up a horse and go down to the corral. So we'd go down and challenge one another. We might ride the same horse, trying to figure out if we can rope a calf faster than the next person.
Shirley Ballard Nero grew up nearby in the all-black town of Clearview.
There were Indians that lived around us because this is the Creek Nation. So it's not just totally an all-black town. We all played at the same spot. We all had our mailboxes in the same spot, but when it was time for the school buses to arrive, we got on separate school buses.
Nero, a retired history teacher, returned home to Clearview with her husband, a retired college president, after spending their work lives elsewhere.
I wanted to come back here. I knew this town needed us, and we had the ability and the know-how to probably be an asset to Clearview.
Many of the buildings in the old all-black towns are crumbling, abandoned, or neglected by absentee owners. Clearview managed to preserve the old-school gym built in 1939. Now a community center that hosts funerals, family reunions, and other events. Revitalizing Oklahoma's all-black towns is the goal of a group of volunteers called the Coltrane Group.
If all of these buildings are gone, there's really no story. Because now you're looking at an empty land, and people can you visualize just an empty space? But if these buildings were developed, which I think would help the economy for these historical black towns to move forward.
The Coltrane Group leads tours of the all-black towns in hopes of raising interest and funds to keep this vital part of Oklahoma history from being lost forever. Dora McQuarr, Oklahoma City, VOA News.